Do you like France? Yes? Well then I truly do apologise, because today we are going to be absolutely destroying the French. And we will be doing this in the glorious video game known as Empire Total War. Now, why the French, you may ask? Because 1, they are just the other side of the channel, and 2, because they're French. I'm joking, I love France. Sorry. However, there are also some tactical reasons. For example, when you play as the British Empire in this game, France is probably your biggest and most dangerous rival, and therefore instantly removing your largest competition is most likely going to be a massive help. So here we are in Empire Total War. Now for our opening moves, we're going to be getting Isaac Newton here, who is a man of great intelligence, believe it or not, and we're going to be sending him off to Cambridge so that he may research some lovely plug bayonets for us. As for our navy, we'll be recruiting just, a few ships, and then we're going to take our fleet here and merge it with our other one over here. And then we will send them over here to have a bit of a chat with this French fleet. You hear correct, my friends. We will be declaring war on France on our very first turn. Now this will also put us at war with Spain as well, which is a bit of a bugger, except it's not. You'll see why in a minute. Now I don't really play naval battles in this game, because in my opinion they're quite slow and I'm not very good at them. As a result, we will be auto-solving this battle. There we are, some decent results right there, and that is a victory for us. The first of many. Now we lost 3 ships, which is a lot more than I hoped, but we can capture a French ship here, which is what we will do. And now Spain. Now, the French we can handle. The French and the Spanish, however, is a little bit dangerous. Therefore, we are going to go up to Carlos II here, and as an Englishman, we are going to use our natural diplomatic skills here to see if we can make peace with the Spanish Empire. Now, we want to ask for peace, however, he does not. Therefore, we're going to throw in a bit of extra bribery, if you will. You see, if we do this again, but this time offer Rupert's Land up in America, he will be more than happy to give us the peace that we request. And just like that, we have one less major nation to worry about, and it is now just between me and France. Now we will grab our army in London and merge it with John Churchill's army. We will then have them picked up by our fleet, who will then drop them off in Normandy. Correct, we are doing a bit of a reverse 1066. Go forth, Rake, give me intel on their army. Yeah, I'd say that's a rather pathetic army. Let's go destroy them. Before we do, however, we're going to need to end our turn. Okay, that pathetic French army is merged with another army, and they're coming to beat me up and kick me out of France. When you compare the two armies, they may have the larger army, but I have a British army. Okay, I think they're getting their entire army to just charge at me, which isn't a very good idea, because that would be like charging into a brick wall, but the brick wall is firing like 50 volleys at you. They are actually going to do it. That's bloody unbelievable. They're routing already. Yeah, no, that didn't go their way, did it? I wonder, how well can a French artillery group defend from cavalry? Not very well. My militias just started a fight with a French line infantry regiment in the woods, and they appear to be winning. Okay, things escalated. They're charging now. Okay. We have a Jedi among our ranks. I'll tell you what the French will never expect. The Metopia pincer tactic. Now these are the elite British pikemen. They are basically just men with hats and poles. But by Jehovah are they effective. Look at them just absolutely charge into battle. Oh bugger. Right, we may or may not have lost our general in the very first battle, but you want to invade France, people are gonna die. Some of those people might be generals. You killed John Churchill, you answer to me! Sorry, my entire army is just chasing some French guy. Maybe if I just don't acknowledge them, they'll stop chasing me. Ah, what a shame. Must have been old age, I reckon. Not quite sure how that was a close victory, but sure. Now, we did take quite a lot of casualties there, but we won, so who cares? I know for sure John Churchill doesn't. It would appear that a French fleet has entered Scotland. I'll take care of that in a moment. 240 years early, Poland, but sure. Now this is much more like it. The Mughal Empire will pay me for an alliance with them. Okay, so that French fleet that's currently in Scotland, well, instead of kicking them out of Scotland, I put a blockade on the port. They're stuck in Scotland forever now. A fate worse than death. Jesus. This is the garrison currently inside of Paris. That is all that defends it. That and probably just a few villagers there with muskets. The French garrison in Paris has basically just said, we'd rather have no garrison than a crap garrison. They've just left. Wake up, France! It's time to become British. Alright, their army's about twice the size of mine. Wait, how the bloody hell do they have mortars? Those shouldn't exist yet. I've caught the French cheating. Ah, whatever, I'll still win. Alright, chaps, you are massively outnumbered, but they're French, so don't worry too much. These mortars are going to be a much bigger threat than I originally thought, I reckon. My strategy here is, basically, I have better line infantry than they do. So if I just form a massive line with my infantry, I'm eventually going to win. And in come the men with sticks! Oh, that's devastating impact right there. Quite literally, here comes the cavalry. Yep, going straight through their ranks. When you hear the sentence, the Battle of Paris, you probably expect something a tad bit more epic than this. But this is fine. I had absolutely no reason to charge these guys. I could have just killed them all from a distance, but I want some entertainment. With this French regiment of foot retreating, we have successfully secured the right flank of Paris. Almost every single French flag I can see right now is flashing white. That's brilliant. Think of it this way. The more flashing French flags there are, the more British Paris is. Combat has now moved into the streets. This is what us English like to call fish and chips. This was some French guy's house like 5 seconds ago. I believe these are the last 2 French units standing in Paris. Not anymore, they are now running like the rest of the French. Good news, Pierre! You're British now! Judging by those statistics, I'm going to say that went very well. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have just conquered the whole of France. We have just done what King Edward III couldn't do in the 100 Years' War in about 9 months. Now, naturally, in true French fashion, they are very angry at me, so there are going to be protests, there are going to be riots, and most importantly, there are going to be rebellions. I'm going to do everything in my power to try and prevent that. But I don't think there's been anyone in history that was able to stop the French from revolting against the current government. Now, we have conquered the whole of France, however the French are still here. They still have armies, they still have fleets, etc, etc, and that is because they still have one province left called Alsace-Lorraine. When we take that, the French will be no more. However, I can't really mobilise my forces from Paris to attack them now because, well, the French hate me. I've not yet won over the French population, and therefore they all want me dead, and they're all going to rebel the second I move my army from Paris. Yeah, it's starting. The French are beginning to not like me. Yeah, they're on strike. Well, this is only going to evolve into something worse. Huh. It's like I can predict the future. Luckily, I have the perfect cure for French resistance. An army. And not just any army. A British army. Okay, alright. Civil unrest? You're speaking a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. Fire the cannons! Next time read the weather forecast, you bloody Frenchies. I am actually a tactical genius. I've already managed to outflank them, and the battle has literally just started. And the French have just got an entire regiment just hiding behind this wall, because, you know, why not? I am honestly so proud at how well I have positioned my units here. By this point, every single French person just knows to fear the elite British pikemen. No matter how fast you run, the cavalry will get you. Normally I say that I don't like horses, and that cars are way better, but in Empire Total War's case, I love horses. And here we have the pikemen just charging across no man's land right now, because why not? Okay, maybe sending the pikemen across no man's land wasn't such a good idea. They're retreating now. We'll never see them again. Well, I must say, I'm seeing a lot of flashing French flags right now. Them's the breaks. Now, unfortunately, we didn't completely murder them, so they are going to continue to be a pain in the arse for the foreseeable future. Alright. I can see Savoy's gotten a bit egotistical. This time we are going to kill these French rebels for good. You know, my gut tells me I'm going to win this battle. If this war's taught me anything, it's that the French don't like horses. This battle's gone on way longer than it should have. I'm just going to send the whole army in now. I like how they're already using the Dunkirk strategy of a select few of you who I don't like will rearguard and allow us to run away. Shocker. And I believe that is all she wrote for the French rebels. Rebellion quelled. By horses. Right, basically, shite. I didn't know that could happen. Oh, wasn't that lovely? Paris has just been sieged by probably what's left of the French army, which is quite a lot. Yeah, something tells me they want Paris back. Or probably more likely just France in general. Well, unfortunately for you, Frenchies, I didn't take France just to give it back. Now I like the strategy they're using right now. Make a formation so unorganized that it will confuse the enemy. Oh, God save us. Here come the mighty, ferocious French soldier. Hey, why are you laughing? Yeah, I'm sure the people living in that house weren't using it anyway. The French think they can beat my British horses? I think not. What they've essentially done here is sent their cavalry to a very quick and unfortunate musket-filled death, weakening their overall army for when they actually decide to attack me. All of my guys have kind of just been stood here, and I already see about half of the French flags flashing white. Come on, chaps, if you want your country back, you're gonna have to learn how to not get massacred by horses. That would very much help. The pikemen are just winning right now, as per usual. When it comes to organisation, I think the map says it all, really. Maybe the French don't want France back after all, they're all just running away. Well, there we go then. After looking at these statistics, the French just need to realise they're not going to win this war. These cow-stabbing scoundrels have done it again. How about if I give you some guns and some money? Oh, thank the Lord. It seems the French are trying to leave Scotland. Who would want to do that? And they didn't even succeed. Was it worth it? I would say it's about time that we show these Savoyans that they shouldn't declare war on the largest power on earth. I have not the slightest clue what they were thinking declaring war on me, but they most certainly regret it now. Watch as I make the Savoy regiment disappear. Yeah, that's hurt them a lot. Do not worry, chaps. They are not retreating. They are simply strategically falling back to continue the battle another day. You know, Savoy's just tried to make a name for itself by going to war with Britain whilst it's at war with France. And it just hasn't worked in their favour. Well, that's not good. I wasn't paying attention to India. I haven't been paying attention to India for the entire game. Therefore, I do not have an army in India. I didn't know I had territory in India, and France has just besieged my one territory in India. They have an entire trained army. I've just got the people that live here. Alright, you Indian sons of Albion. The British Empire's standing in India relies solely on you against a much larger enemy. Excuse me? So the French soldiers that were rushing at me, well, it turns out they were horses. And they've just run straight past me. It's very nice of the French to just stand here and let me pelt them with mortars. Okay, I spoke too soon. They're advancing. Yeah, they're actually pushing the line up. This is where it all goes downhill. Why are you back here? You're so far behind the front line. Do you know what? My lads, my militia, my citizenry are actually holding off the elite French forces. I'm about to be one and done here, aren't I? Right, my militia have just started flashing white. They're getting a tad bit overwhelmed. Gentlemen, I have observed the situation and come to the conclusion that there is nothing I can do about it. So, oh, yep, and there they go. Hearing that, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. They are now routing. I don't blame them. Yeah, safe to say our right flank has just absolutely collapsed. Although we still seem to be doing well with what's in front of us, so that's good. Yeah, my guys on the right of the line just got absolutely decimated by cavalry. Although my militia back here are successfully holding off this French regiment, so that's good, I suppose. Oh my god, what's happened to the front line? It's been sawn in half. After a Assessing the situation, I have bravely decided to fall back. It's not running away. It's not running away. It's tactical, okay? Bloody hell, now my guys are the ones behind the front lines. To be honest though, I am astonished they're still alive. Right, I've managed to trap the bulk of the French army here in this little field. I'm going to try and inflict as many casualties upon them right now before my lads inevitably retreat. Wow, that worked almost too well. The whole French army I managed to trap are now routing. Oh, you bastards. The French just did a Mongolian empire. They just pretended to retreat. They're coming for me now. Right, I'd say now is a perfect time to retreat back into the village. Right, I think the French have just realised that my entire army is now in the village and they are walking straight into an ambush. They have turned right back round. I'm just going to send my militia up and they'll either beat the French and then I win, or die and I lose India, but the battle finally ends. End this, gentlemen, for king and country. For the love of God, just win. For the love of God, just win. For the... What? No, you cowards! Alright, that does it. We're sending the whole army in. I don't care how many of them die. Just someone win, please. About bloody time! Remind me to never use armed citizenry for as long as I live. I have successfully secured India. But at what cost? Honestly, Savoy's not even a threat to me. It's just annoying. So I'm just gonna give them money in the hopes that they'll leave me alone. It greatly annoys me that bloody Savoy has profited from a war against me. But hey-ho. And now, to finish off the French. Alsace-Lorraine, here I come. Of course it would have walls, it wouldn't be easy. And there's like 5,000 defenders. French construction, everyone. Not the best. Can we go 2 for 1? Yes, we can. Lovely flips, by the way, by the French defenders there. Very nice. The elite British pikemen have just found a small little crack in the French walls to slip through and infiltrate the castle. We're inside the castle. They have moments to live. My cavalry basically just said, why don't we try the back door? Oh, there's a bit of a scrap between a Brit and a Frenchman here. We'll see who wins. Bloody hell, I think the Frenchman's won. Oh, no. That's some agility by the Brit there, but I'm afraid it's a stalemate. Most of the French are flashing white. I've pretty much won. I just need to drive them out now for good. Oh yeah, there it is. We've captured the French flag. I'm pretty sure that means certain victory. There we are. Alsace-Lorraine is now ours. Now with the fall of Alsace-Lorraine, this means something magnificent. You read this correctly, gentlemen. France is now no more. Every single French army and French fleet has disappeared, meaning I am now at peace with the whole of France. France is now Britain. And now we only have one more thing to do before the end of this episode. If you remember from earlier, France had some territory in India back when they existed, and that's what they used to attack my territory from. Well, now that mainland France is gone, all of France's colonies have broken free. For example, Quebec is now Quebec, meaning this Indian province is now its own nation. And I want it. Do you know what? There's a lot more of them than I thought there'd be. Yeah, I forgot this was India, and I only had access to colonial Indian troops, so my guys aren't exactly the best. Yeah, no, don't worry, down there, when you're down there it looks like there's a lot more of them than there actually is, but you've got this. They haven't got this, they are going to die. Luckily we Brits have a solution to losing. Retreating! Alright, basically, bugger this. We're falling back to the village. So they've entered the street and are getting lit up by my East India Company line infantry, and they're just stood there, taking it. They're just there! Is this a peaceful protest or something? They have finally gathered the sense to retreat, at the cost of about 50 to 100 men. Here they come again! Oh yes, charge me, you heathens. See what happens. Not so confident now, are we? No, it would appear not. And off they go. Alright, gentlemen, Time for the final push. Well, surely there's literally no way we don't win this now, because, well, most of them don't even have muskets, they're melee. Yeah, okay, safe to say, we have definitely carved out a bit more of India for ourselves. Turns out they did have guns, they just didn't know how to bloody use them. I've won again! And there we have it, we have just colonised even more of India. Right, so Württemberg has just watched me destroy France, one of the most powerful countries in the world at this time, and for... now that, right there, is a war that we can win. They're either stupid or just tired of living. Well then, that was Empire Total War. Württemberg can live, for now, until I inevitably decide to make an episode 2 where I go for them, and then most likely the Spanish. So, see you then, I suppose.